Usually when I'm doing these reviews, I have a little book with me that has like all the points that I want to bring up and mention. This one, I'm taking inspiration from Tommy Wiseau. I'm just gonna wing it.
I did not hit her. It's not true. It's bullshit. I did not hit her. I did not. Oh, hi, Mark.
The Disaster Artist is the most recent movie from the Seth Rogen, James Franco clan, who, for the record, when they're at their best, I absolutely love. And this year, they have pumped out what is one of the most creative and brilliant movies I've watched in a long time. So there it is, not very long into the review for me to actually already tell you guys, yeah, I loved this film. And it's the main reason I'm talking about it, because a lot of you guys have asked me to talk about it, and I don't have the biggest following in the world. It's gotta be somewhat good. So, what is The Disaster Artist? Disaster Artist is a movie directed by James Franco, I believe, and the story of the film is basically the production of Tommy Wiseau's The Room. Now, for anyone watching this video who hasn't seen The Room, imagine those really awful, awkward scenarios that happen in your daily life. Something that upsets you, but is also funny to others. Something that upsets you when it happens, but you look back on and think of it as rather comical, like releasing a fart in an elevator. Now, transfer that thought and moment into a film. That, my friends, is The Room. Tommy Wiseau's The Room is possibly one of the biggest travesties on the face of this earth that it's so fucking beautiful. It's so bad that it's perfect. I have a theory about films that a percentage rating can't go from good to bad in a straight line, being 0% here and 100% here. But actually, good and bad in films is a circle. The reason I think this is because at the top of the circle is good, and then it goes all the way around and progressively gets worse until eventually you go back to the top of the circle where it's bad. There's such a thin gap between the good side and the bad side of the top of the circle that when something is so bad, it's fucking brilliant again. One of the worst rated movies of all time is Kevin and Perry Go Large, and in my eyes, it's a fucking classic. The Room is one of those movies. It's so fucking bad that on this little circle that I've just invented, it is literally holding the gap between phenomenal and fucking awful cinema. But anyway, now that a little picture has been painted in your head about how terrible the film is that this movie I'm reviewing currently is based on, then let's get started. First of all, I am gonna give a huge credit to whoever's idea this was, be it Franco's or Rogen's. This was a ballsy fucking move. Creating this film could have gone just as badly as The Room itself. This was not guaranteed success. This movie was not guaranteed to come out well. And when or where they came up with the idea, it must have been a beautiful fucking moment. This movie was one of the few films I've seen this year that after leaving, I knew that right from the outset, everyone involved had a fucking vision for how this would come out. And it's absolutely spectacular. It is one of the more creative films I've seen this year. It's really entertaining. Like, what the film does in regards to storyline is it follows the life of Tommy Wiseau and how he met his best friend Greg. Greg in The Room plays Mark. See, this is the bit where I should insert a little oh hi Mark joke, but I'm not going to do that. I'm just because no. In the film plays Mark, and this movie basically just follows their life. It shows you their day by day and the step by step it took to get to the point where they wanted to write and produce The Room. And whether the story of The Disaster Artist is true beat for beat, my fucking god did they put together a good story. After watching The Room for the first time, in my head, Tommy Wiseau was a freaking moron. Like, he was just an idiot with a whole bunch of money that put out a film because he wanted to be famous. And then of course I watched the movie a few more times and realised that Tommy Wiseau is a fucking genius. But the point is, watching this movie, I really began to feel for both of these characters. I really sympathised with Greg, and I really kind of understood why Tommy was doing all the things he was doing. I didn't, let's say, agree with the things he was doing, but I understood why he did the things he did on a daily basis. And frankly, I understand why he wrote The Room. Look, if I was in Tommy's situation and I had enough money to produce my own film, I probably would as well. I would do it very differently to how he did, but I would follow in his footsteps, so I can understand where he went with this. The Disaster Artist touches on characters that I didn't think I would actually catch an emotional bond with. In my head, people that make bad movies are just dumb. But Seth Rogen and James Franco make a movie about people that make bad movies, and it may be the best movie that they've made yet. I love Superbad more than anything. It's maybe my favourite comedy movie of all time. It's another one of Seth Rogen's films, and this movie has climbed that ladder, and it may be on par with Superbad. Not because it's funnier, but because it's so clever. As you guys have probably already realised watching my videos, I just love films where people are smart and they're creative with what they do. It's the reason I loved Ragnarok. It's the reason I love Guardians. It's when people really put care and effort into what they're producing. And with this movie, James Franco, Seth Rogen, Dave Franco, and Zac Efron for a very brief point even, they really put all the effort they had into making this film. And my god, it shows. Like, it absolutely shows. The Disaster Artist is it's a really great film. Look, I don't, at this point, have a way of rating my films, but for right now, let's give The Disaster Artist a big thumbs up. This is what I rate this movie. Good job. Okay, Disaster Artist, it's great. It really surprised me. It's a lot of fun. Go watch it. You'll have loads of fun in the cinema. You'll have loads of fun talking about it with your friends afterwards. And that's all I've got to say. Like I said, I did this improvised, and also I didn't want to run this one on for too long. 1, because my movie reviews are taking a long time these days. 2, because I'm currently working on other projects that are taking up a lot of time. And 3, because at the time of filming this, Star Wars comes out in 2 days, so I really want to get this edited and out to you guys before I watch that, because I know that after The Last Jedi, whether it's good or bad, it's all I'm going to want to talk about, really. And yeah, my review for that should be up within the next few days. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed my first review of something that wasn't a superhero film. I'm sorry it was so short, but hey, keep it sweet and to the point, am I right? Tommy Wiseau didn't do that, and look how his fucking movie turned out. Anyone who watches this is just gonna think I don't know how to talk about films that aren't superhero films, because this video is significantly shorter. Wait for my fucking Star Wars review, that's gonna be hours.